I'll stop you.
Okay, I think we're really doing it now. Okay, well that's great. Okay, when I get over here with Tony, let's play Green Water.
Oh, are you playing on here?
Yeah.
You want me to start recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got you.
Good.
Oh, word.
You guys want your headphones on? So we'll do Green Water right after this.
Do not reflect the
You can be those little copies. Yeah.
of K-Radio broadcast.
Or weed and lemonade.
All I need is weed and water. All I need is weed and water. All I need is weed and water. All I need is weed and water.
We're not recording. Let me know when you want
They're not. Are we recording it?
Well, we're with the mic now.
They can only hear the audio.
Let me know when you want to update it.
All I need is weed and water. All I need is I come down and slaughter.
Hey everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, we're back, and I didn't want to come back and feel super different than when I left, so I went ahead and had a whole bunch of technical difficulties. Just like the old days.
We were only here for the
I don't
end of
need
it.
no COVID to forget how to download and do everything. So, hey, is this still going? Are you fading this out?
You want me to, whenever you want to fade it up, all the way
go
out.
ahead. Not that I don't like it, it's just that I'm a little high and I can't concentrate.
That's fair.
I'm like, wait, is that still there? Can everybody hear that?
Yeah.
That's me. Oh my God. So we're finally back in CRB. This is Shelly with Reads and Leads. Yay!
We
Yay!
made it.
Read and read things. Yay!
Smart.
And we're
Smart.
hashtag smart stunners. If we're not doing that, we should be. Make a note.
Hashtag smart.
Okay. And that opening song was Reading Water by Mike Fate, who's the guest on the show. Woo!
Hello.
You know how sometimes people's names aren't pronounced like you think they are,
Mm-hmm.
And I texted him and said, hey, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I want to do a little promo. And he's like, it's Fate. Without writing it, kind of in parentheses, dumbass. In parentheses, dumbass. I'm like, dude, I know. It could be pronounced like anything, though. You never know.
Fate. You're right.
Fate.
Mike Fate. But people have been asking me if my name is Mike Fake, and I'm just like, no. So it's fine.
Hey, so we met on Medical Mondays, which is another podcast that See Murder down here at the end of the show. Say hi.
See Murder.
See Murder.
What? You run around the house.
He sure is.
No.
Get unlocked.
Oh God.
I was a few weeks ago in no mood to do anything, and then Colin said, hey, do you want to be on Medical Mondays tonight? And I'm like, okay, fine.
It was like at 8:30 and it goes on at 9.
I'm like, oh God, I've been on Zoom calls all day and I've got them all day. And he's like, just do it, it'll be fun, and it was so fun.
You're like, I don't think you have to like minutes.
You were on for like an hour.
I kind
It
of
was awesome.
hogged the show a little bit. I think I was needy right then. I was like,
I was
I
like,
need to be
I thought
heard.
she needed to be off this and
Yeah, but it was fun. I think that week I was in like an insurance training.
Yeah, you were
different.
you were doing some. Where were you? You were in a different state. You were in
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Really?
Where were you?
Yeah, you were not during the meeting. You were talking about you just got back
Oh,
from
it's in Kansas.
in Kansas.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Forgetful.
One of those
So did
dates.
Kansas.
Right.
I like the way they think so.
Kansas. There's some rodeo. There's some rodeo, for real. Okay. So we were on that show and I was telling them about Reads and Weeds, and one of my goals was like, I just want to hang out with people who smoke weed and talk about things they read, and that's kind of the whole point of the show. And so we've done fiction and nonfiction and classics and female authors, male authors, and young adults and new adults, and we've done on the Christmas show we read like random recipes. We've read poems, we've read out, screenplays and things like that, but we've never done lyrics, which is like, we're breaking new ground today. So when we were on Medical Mondays, we talked about them coming on, and then it took forever. Scheduling has been so weird. I don't know if the last 3 weeks, everything I set up just like comes tumbling down. Like things in my calendar will all make sense, and all of a sudden, so you broke your arm?
Oh. Yeah, I broke my wrist.
Yeah, you're okay? You had surgery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, one of his favorite colors.
Yeah, super fancy with a broken arm.
Gotta be.
And then, I like your whole outfit, actually. Like, I would wear that.
He's a man from man.
He is, and like this bum bag thing, this is gorgeous.
It's a fanny pack.
The shirt, the whole thing.
The shirt came from a thrift store in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a kimono.
Good.
He loves kimonos.
I appreciate just not seeing myself the same as pajamas everywhere.
I understand.
Man, I feel that spiritually.
Yeah.
And my favorite quarantine pajamas.
I know. Well, like a month or so ago, I was over at a friend of mine's house, and she was wanting to get rid of all these clothes, and she gave me a bunch of stuff. And I looked at it the other day, and I'm like, I haven't even looked in here. I don't even know what's in there because it wasn't hot enough to wear it yet. That's how long we've been not able to go anywhere. You know, it's like, well, I can't wear that now. That's a little thin shirt. It's too cold. And now here we are. Okay, so still sort of quarantine. People are up in arms for it. It is July 8th, as we're recording this. It's 175 degrees outside every day. We're burning alive. And we don't like to stay inside because we've been inside for 4 months. We're laughing now, but there is quite a lot of strife in Florida.
Man, there's crazy things going on every day.
Yes, there's
Every day.
terrible, crazy things going on every day, which is why I have to do things like this. And we're all wearing masks. The studio where we have recorded before has new sort of partitions all through the middle where we usually are. There's usually like a puppy running around there sharing weed.
It's not in right now.
It's not here, but sometimes.
Get the puppy corona.
I know, but it's so great to have a tiny puppy on the show. So, but we're here, and I'm very, very excited, and I'm going to have people introduce themselves. I'm Shelly. I've been doing the show. This is like the 50-something one that we've recorded, but we've only put out maybe like 46 episodes or something. So, I mean, we're lost.
I lost
You guys got
my.
the number. That's pretty high now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a successful show.
I know. Well, you know what I wanted to say while we're on here is every time I try to figure out like who we talk to, around the world. And today I went on a little tracking thing. And so if you're listening in Ireland, Mountain View, California, Raleigh, North Carolina, or the UK, tell me who you are and how you found me, and kind of hit me up on Facebook or something, because when I see people listening from there, I wonder how you found me. So, and then you can start listening to Mike, and then we can plan a world tour together, and that would really help us out if we had
We were supposed to go to the Fairbanks, Alaska about this time.
I know, we were supposed to go there. So we had a guy on the show from Alaska who runs a podcast in Alaska called he's Up North Tober.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they had the first
Lounge or something.
lounge license or whatever. And so it was an
really?
old Chili's. But no, an old, is that right?
I think it was a Chili's or something
It
like
was a
that.
Chili's. So it was going to be a whole Chili's weed hang lounge.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
and so we
awesome.
were like, let's check
And it was
prices.
like,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Let's
go
do
like
a
the end of
field trip.
June, early
Yes,
July,
yes.
and it just didn't pan out.
I know. Well, Who could have seen it coming, really?
Dang on
Man,
Corona.
all of our plans got moved and pushed back. It's crazy.
Shit.
It's crazy.
Shit. So, okay, so we've got Mike Fake on here. Tell me your name again.
Justin.
Justin, what's your last name?
Hatchet.
Hatchet.
You can Google.
Okay. Hatchet like the weapon, Justin?
H-A-T. Yeah, well, 2 T's at the end, but yes.
Sure, sure.
Hatchet.
Hatchet.
Without.
And Kayla?
Yes, Kayla Teresa.
Kayla Teresa. Okay, and so I met you guys on Medical Mondays, but did not meet you. And do you work with them, or you just hang in for fun?
Oh, I'm his girlfriend, and I do work under.
Yeah, she does work.
Okay.
And I have my own friend.
Oh, cool. All right, right. I love it. All right. So I started listening to Blown. This is your newest album, right?
Yes.
And I didn't know anything about you yet, but I don't know how old you are now. Maybe 23?
You almost got me.
22. 25.
I'm going down.
Because I was just looking up, and your little bios all say I'm 21 years old. I'm like, well, this is an album 3 hours ago. So I'm looking up something. And it says 21
Someone needs
years
to
old.
update their
That's a
age.
match. I was thinking it was like 29.
Oh, he's 53.
He's
The old guy in the room.
53.
So,
Yeah.
He's tiny.
there you go. Nowadays,
Hey, silly. So no, I was reading about. Do you know what Mike's first song is called?
Yes.
Milk Duds and I.
I heard Mel Johnson
Yes.
and she's on Mental Monday. I remember it.
When we first started working together, he goes,
told
Justin, I gotta let you know about this one song. It's probably gonna follow me
He's
my
like, "Don't
entire
worry."
career. I was just warning you. Milk Duds and Axe.
So someone's gonna ask you know that song. one
Well,
day.
okay.
You have to say yes.
I'm like, this is what I was there for.
fall
To
because
represent
you
the
gave
Mr.
us a ball.
Milk Duds and
That's
Axe.
It's super fun. I'm all about it. I want to know more about the man behind Milk Duds and Axe. Who doesn't love those things?
You gotta take it back a couple of years for that.
You're not even that ignorant anymore.
No, okay, so
That's
tell
fair.
me, here's what I want to hear. And while you guys are telling me this, I'm going to go get my notes with a weird time. But talk about how you guys met, started working together, like how you,
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead, take it away, please.
So, I actually met Justin because of Kayla. We started being friends to being best friends. I used to hang out with her, smoke with her a lot. And she was like, I'm a model, you should come to one of my shows. And I was like,
He said no like 6
I
times.
said no. And then I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see what you got going on there. And I went there and I ended up seeing how they were doing everything. And they're talking to Justin. Justin was like, frankly, oh yeah, I know who you are. And I was just like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Nobody know who I am.
he was super surprised that I knew who he was, and like I was already in the entertainment industry for about 2 years at that point, so it was a part of my job to know who people were.
Yeah.
So I knew who Mike Fate was. I knew about his music. I knew where he was performing. Like just by me doing my research and running the company the appropriate way. So my background. Before I was into art and all entertainment and all that stuff, I worked in law firms from 14 to 21, and with lawyers such as Ray Richards, Park Morris, Jim Razor. I helped start the Campus Legal Group actually when I was still a legal administrator there. So my reputation in cannabis and activism, and they actually worked on a couple of political campaigns with me to help push cannabis in a couple cities. We did like 6-city push. So we first got together because I was training Kayla, and I saw Mike, and I was like, yo, I'm actually a fan of this dude. I know him. I've heard his music. He's in the scene. He looks like he's got everything together. And at that time, I was already representing another artist, and I was working for a radio station.
Okay.
So just the synergy and everything that was going on, I asked Mike, I think it was like my first line of questions. I asked him, what do you have on your calendar? What do you have coming up? What do you have going on? And he responded with nothing. And I said, that's a problem. Like, I was like, that's no. So I immediately, like, the conversation went from friendly to, okay, why don't you have anything going on for yourself? Like, I know who you are. Other people do too. What's the catch? So we started talking. That's yours, man. Take
No,
it.
no.
Oh.
I cannot tell you how happy it makes me that you guys are eating the snacks and drinking water.
Why does
I always-
nobody touch it?
No one
No.
ever.
Colin knows, sometimes I
So
bring.
usually I have to take a bunch of it home.
I
Oh.
mean, usually I bring like an elaborate overabundance of snacks. It's kind of making me sad because like I was like, is that against the rules now? You know what I mean? I can't bring in like a tub of ice cream.
My mama raised me that
Yeah.
if someone offers you food, it's bad hospitality and bad manners not to eat
Not
the food.
Yeah, you gotta eat
Oh,
You have to.
wow.
Yeah.
That means that everybody else is on your show.
it. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Blame everyone else. Already here first.
Especially bring like donuts and ice cream.
Everyone
I know.
besides me
And
has
everybody's
no
like
manners.
trying to get that.
No. I
Peach
sometimes,
cobbler.
I know, you made it up.
I love
You
that.
I would be. He's
He's
not. He's not.
already
murdered.
He's gonna eat dessert.
Smooth like those.
See?
Man, I've got to take the time off.
And it's really, everybody does partake, but it always makes me happy, and I make too much, but I appreciate you sharing with me. So, what year was this? Was this like 2 years ago?
This was
Literally 2 years ago.
yeah, 2 years ago in July. Actually,
Okay.
like we're coming up on our weird management anniversary.
Oh, I love that. What are you guys doing for your weird management?
Going to California.
Going to California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we leave for LA next week.
Oh, shit. Yay.
Yeah,
That's expensive.
It is a coincidence.
not really. I kind of made you guys go. I was like, yo, I'm booked. We're going.
What's the name
Might as well
of
go.
your brand that you work with?
My company is called Top Shelf or Die. Top
Oh,
Shelf or Die
okay,
LLP. It's a consulting agency, it's a branding agency, marketing firm, production firm. I'm a designer, so I have a bunch of clothes. We represent models and artists, so I'm a distribution advertising agency as well. So and publications firm. So we hope do magazine publications. We probably got like during COVID, I've gotten models over 14 articles.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just use my networks and all the brands that I work with and plug and play everybody in with
Do you really
good
feel
match.
like you're doing enough yet, though?
Yeah.
It's never
Yeah.
I'm totally
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
Did you hear the list? Did he just?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you another, like,
I can start up.
Dude,
I guess.
Yeah, right?
I
Know something right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a puppy, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that takes up
That takes
more of
up
my
a lot.
time.
I'm also a chef, a pilot.
That's him.
No, he is a
He is a
He's not the.
Yeah. Oh my God, you know what we need to, you know what we need to do? For sure. That gets.
We know multiple milkers.
We were all yoga.
obviously.
Hey, I can probably touch my toes, okay?
So we were on Medical Mondays. I just remembered that we went through like all the cops manual about.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the DEA's list of what they called scheduled narcotics now. So
Right,
like
well,
each
the-
narcotic was in a different
Yeah,
row.
yeah, and
Oh,
it was
yeah,
how
that's
you
right.
recognized it on the phone call. Like,
Yeah,
the tapped into
yeah,
the
what they're
phone call.
tapping into.
And some of them were like weed, grass, angel, but some of it was just like cereal, Thursday.
Yeah, Apple Jacks.
Mother.
Apple
Yeah,
Jacks. Yeah,
somebody-
burritos. Yeah, Santa Barbara and churros. I'm like, dude, during that, I was like, I'm afraid to eat. Yeah, East Side players.
Don't be a player from the East Side.
Somebody heard that someone smoked cereal milk and did not understand the name, and then
They're
ran
obviously
with it.
smoking the milk now. They rolled it up.
Right.
I don't know how they did it. They must be freezing it or something.
But I still wanna, and Colin, we can talk about this, I still wanna write a little sketch, and since you do all the things. you can-
Oh yeah, we can do it. Let's
I'm
do
a
it.
special effects
Yes,
artist, so
let's do
you
it.
need stuff.
Yeah, yeah, well, so the sketch I wanna write is how did that list come to be?
Oh,
You know, who were the
yes.
two dumbasses that were assigned this, and they didn't do their job, and so they just.
And they woke up and just started writing on a board. Like,
Or-
this report's due tomorrow.
Or they
Yeah,
And they're like, what did you eat in the last week? Apple Jacks, churros,
collect
burritos.
all the evidence. They're like,
They were
we
high,
got
so they
some
were like,
names
they
for
just
this
say the
man.
first word
Yeah,
that
they-
comes to your mind.
They probably were high.
They're probably high
They
as
were
up, like,
smoking.
yeah.
For sure.
That's just one of the funniest things. Like I always thought, if our government was responsible for distributing all these drugs, you know they just took some.
It's
Just-
not even like, I wonder if that happens, it's just that
It happens.
We know.
It happens.
We're getting good
Yeah.
drugs. I know you guys are getting good drugs too.
How else would they be like, oh, this is shit, throw it on the side of the road?
And I've
Not
had
even write you
I've
a
had a cop
ticket.
do that.
They wouldn't even write you a ticket. They're like,
Oh,
you're
no,
smoking
it's-
bullshit.
it's-
It's just
I'm
I'm like, damn, dude. How did you? Exactly. I'm like, oh,
Just like when my dad's like, you smell like weed. How do you know what weed smells like? Dad, get grounded. Get out of here.
You sound like a wolf.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so we're here to talk about software. Happy weird management anniversary. I didn't mean to overshadow that.
No, thank you. That's
Really,
fine.
you guys are adorable.
I didn't
I guess we
even
tried.
know it was.
I like that.
It was not. That's why.
Well, so tell me, so when you go from, and I guess I've sort of had this before with comedy, where like, well, somebody's paying attention to whether or not I'm getting booked, and somebody's paying attention to whether or not I have good media presence. Like,
Right.
how did you start working? When you were like, dude, why aren't you
Oh,
out there yet?
that okay.
Yeah.
That was a thing. So like, at first, I actually pushed the envelope and turned Mike into a model.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first thing. I was like, you know what? If you're gonna work with my company, I want to put you in a different light. I want to put you around different people. I want you to join us. We have like 3 shows booked this month. Let me see what you can do. He walked in the first one, and then the last 2, I let him perform that. So he's actually performed as a performing artist while we're doing our visual display of art. in the office. So like yeah, so he's and there's some of the best shows ever. Like we performed at St. Andrew Hall, one of the biggest venues here in Detroit.
Do you know, Hurricane Swim?
I just sound so
Tomorrow, they usually have a live painter when they're performing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that
it's
sounds
awesome. When her band is playing, they have a painter.
Oh, I know her. Actually, my sister went to high school with her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's awesome. She does like the social media stuff for this show.
Okay. Oh,
And
what's up?
she
Tap
works
in.
at Home with Medicine. She's in
Oh,
business, too.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Are you saying Hannah?
I
am.
Alm of Medicine. That's the one in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I've done a comedy show there for the last 9 years.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, so it was first Saturday of the month, but then, we took a big break, and now it's the 10th year anniversary.
Wow.
Is like celebrating this month in July.
Really?
So we're
We
doing
gotta
our.
do a trip up there. You guys, are you guys planning something? Are you doing anything?
Yeah, we're doing a live stream show July 31st. It's like our 10th anniversary comedy show, and they're doing
Awesome.
things all month. So
So it's live stream, nobody can pull it up.
well,
I mean, I know they're open. Like they're open.
but for that show, what we decided to do, we were gonna just live stream it, and I was like, let me just see if I can find some comedians who are willing to do it live, and maybe we can do it for just the employees, right? Just some employees that
That's cool.
show,
That'd be awesome.
just to
And
make
then
it.
record that.
And live stream that.
Live stream that, right.
Yeah. So we're doing that. That's actually what we're doing.
Cool.
We'll have 3 comedians, and I'll see it, and we'll live stream it from there. Yeah. So anyway,
Sweet.
so I don't know why I started talking about it. Oh, I know,
Oh,
because
yeah,
I'm talking about comedy. Okay. So what I'm saying is like, how did things change? You had produced a few albums, he had heard about you on the scene, so you were cool. Obviously, you heard about Meltdowns and Ash Chicks.
Yeah.
But, that's what got him hooked. That's
Well,
where it started.
honestly, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. It was. No, that's good. No, when we started working together, like a big part of me, like I'm extremely serious when it comes to business, and everyone around Detroit and other cities know me as just being kind of like a strict asshole when it comes to fashion shows and stuff,
Yeah.
and even like our walk training and everything. So. I think Mike kind of gravitated towards me because he realized that I wasn't bullshitting around and I was actually there to get work done and I wasn't going to waste anyone's time.
Yeah.
So, especially my own. So, that started like a good professional relationship. And when I started explaining to him, like, yo, you need to do this, 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 and this, you need to be in these places, you need to get booked for these shows. And he's like, I don't know how. I'm like, okay, I know how. Let me manage you. Let's see how this is going to work. At the time, he was working with another manager. And I had a talk with him and kind of let him know, like, yo, I can pretty much take over from here. Let's still have a professional relationship and see if you want to push and help us out in some way. Like, we'd be more than open to it. But for right now, the best thing for Mike's career is to grow with a new brand. And they completely agree. Like, I actually just got back from New York with that other manager. He's now my publicist, so we have a working relationship now, which took about 2 years to form. But it's right. Yeah, it's right when it should. Yeah, it's right when it should. So. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, he's like, yeah, I don't really want to manage artists anymore. I want to do publications and da. I'm like, I'll help you. Like, how can I help? I've worked in all these different avenues and scenes, so however I could help, that's really my biggest thing. Like, and that was another thing. A lot of artists and models, when they meet me, that's one of the last things I ask them. Like, how can I help you? What else can I do? Like, do you need anything else? Like, is there anything that we can help with? Like, that type of mentality and energy is kind of what no one else gets without a brand like me. So it kind of holds things in a different perspective, I guess.
So let me ask you, was Bloom produced just during this last few months?
No. Bloom was a 6-7 month project. We partnered up with 3525 Studios. Shout out to everybody over there, P. Will, Benji, everybody that believed in us coming together to do a collaborative project like this. This was actually one of the first albums that studio, production-wise, did a complete album from start to scratch. So all of the beats, all of the engineers, everything that you hear came directly from that studio. So we went there over a span of 6-7 months while Mike was on a 5-leg tour. We were able to.
This was last year?
Yeah, this was last year. So we started, I want to say, in September of last year. He had. Did you come to New York Fashion Week?
No.
He didn't come to New York Fashion Week. You were somewhere else. I think, yeah.
Sure. I remember going to New York, right?
Oh no, in September. Yeah, you did. No, we did. Yeah. So we did a show out in September for Fashion Week. We came back home and then the deal started. So we started recording, we started production. The first month and a half was basically beat selection. We were trying to figure out what meshed with Mike's sound and the direction that he was going. And this also had been the first time Mike started recording since his father passed away. So this album, this project was actually a really big hurdle for Mike, because out of the 2 years that we were working together, for about, I want to say 6 months out of it, Mike wasn't recording new music. So just having the type of bond and relationship to say, yeah, I'm here for you, whatever you need. Like, it's not about the business, it's about, you know what I'm saying, your emotions, your feelings, your growth, all of that, and getting back into it to make sure this is really what you want. So that was a big part of our relationship and our dynamics moving into now. Just because we're so comfortable, we trust each other, we understand. He understands me better than most people, just because he's one of the artists that spent the most time around me. Out of the 6 that are, well, now 8 signed to the label, Mike's been with me the longest.
All right, on. So first, sorry to hear about your dad. I lost my dad a year ago May. So maybe around the same time. So sorry to hear about that. And I know it's hard. And also, were you in the middle of creating this when that happened? That what you were saying?
No, more it was after it happened. I tried to keep working and just keep going on, but it just felt like there was some things I need to deal with inside myself. So I really just stopped doing music off. Like, it was when I decided to make the album was going to be about what I spent the last 6 months thinking about. So that's, that album was way more.
It's an in-depth one.
Yeah, in-depth.
Yeah.
Super in-depth.
Thought out with a lot of my other music.
Yeah.
It's nothing like Milk Comes
Yeah.
And that's
It's
one of the best parts about it.
well, I've been loving it. Like, so we're gonna listen to it. The song, tell me why. So, like I said right at the beginning, one of the things that we're going to do is just talk more about lyrics. And I asked them to just pick a song and sing the lyrics and let's talk about it. So why did you pick this one?
This is well, the album is called Bloom, the song is called Bloom, and this was probably the song that really drove my entire album. And I really spoke about my dad in this song where I didn't do that much. This song for me is just more of a just straight inside look of how I feel. And I felt like it was just the most well articulated song that I had.
Yeah, yeah. I dig it. I dig it. So before we listen to it, can we listen to this one next, Colin?
Yeah, it's like blue.
Yeah.
Blue, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So can I ask, when you started writing, were you like, did you think of yourself as like, I write poetry, and then you started singing one day, or what, like, how was your?
It's interesting. You asked
Yeah, no,
that.
I started with poetry at first, and then I became a rapper for a while.
Mhm.
Like, really good rapper. Then I started to be like, I don't want to rap anymore. I want to have more time to think about what I want to say. I want to sing now.
Yeah, Bloom was pushing. Bloom was pushing the envelope for sure. Bloom made Mike realize he had vocal,
Oh, yeah.
like actual vocal. He realized while he got comfortable in this setting and at 3525 Studios, he was like, "Yo, I can actually sing. I can do this. It sounds the way I want it to." And a big part of a lot of artists is when it comes to making music, it sounds one way in your head, and translating that through multiple mediums, either it's through just a sound equalizer and doing the actual recordings or having an engineer touch it up and mix and master it, it's gotta sound the way you wanted it to, or it's not good.
Yeah.
And you never want to live with releasing something that to you was not good. So like that was a big part of like the whole process with this album. To Mike, it was good.
Yeah, I want to listen to it, but I'm trying to think, how long is that song?
4 minutes and 5 seconds.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we, since we're coming up on 5 o'clock, why don't we listen, can you put it to where it'll play that Weed and Water, and then play,
Perfect.
Perfect?
Okay.
And then we'll go Smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then
Smoke
we'll
break
come
time.
back.
Sounds
We'll
good.
come back, yeah, and then we'll talk about it, and, you guys can do whatever you're gonna do out there. Listen to the song.
You want to play Weed Water now?
Green water, and can you make it to where we're outside, it just flows right into?
Yep, that's fine.
Yep, sweet.
See, Murder's the man.
See, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Also, extreme.
Spoiled you for.
We got about like 7 minutes.
Okay, we got 7 minutes. Oh, that's all these out there. We're gonna take
Yes.
All I need is weed and water. All I need is weed and water. All I need is gotta give my soul. OG what I smoke and roll. That shit give me on the flow. When I show for the show, all I need is weed and water. All I need is weed and water. All I need is I come down, I am a slaughter. Always on some shit that they ain't even thought of. Caught up in illusions, I could be a product. You look like a one, damn, I could be a potter. I'm gonna have to test these waters, I just got the flow perfected. Even every day, I swear this shit my breakfast. Hot off the producers where I get the freshness. The spring water and freshness. Say a prayer just to bless it, yeah. See what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. And you put water into a cup. It becomes the cup. You put water into a pot. It becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot. It becomes the teapot. And water can flow. It can crash. Be water, my friend. All I need is weed and water. 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 All I need is gotta give my H2O. OG what I smoke and roll. That shit keep me on the flow. When I show up for the show, all I need is weed and water. All I need is weed and water. All I need is I'm just trying to be like water. Cycle, I think that I might be his father. Let's take this a little farther. My street flow just like a river channel from the endless. Battled off the ends of seven. All to see the bigger picture, all to see the lie they try to hide. Even with my third eye, Aquafina, I need you to help this bird fly. If I crash, I'm still away. I can check it, still stay the same. Stay hydrated, keep my patience while I'm waking out for my strength. All I need is weed and water. 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 All I need is gotta give my H2O. OG what I smoke and roll. That shit get me on the flow. When I show up for the show, all I need is weed and water. All I need is weed and water. DJ, what's up, my friend? I am the power of the Lord. Watch people ride and strong. I didn't play it in the room. I just got tired of the zone. Living too fast and don't want to crash. Living too fast ain't be part of that. Half the snow all the way down. Telling these roses that's on my path. I wish I stayed over here like that. I know it's really that good. I feel like they see me. I'm tired of I made a lot of mistakes. The lessons I learned were worth it. I know that I'ma be great. I hope you don't think I'll be perfect. I think they just love it. Nobody needs the house. Now my friend don't let it in the house. With my stand, that's the plan of my sound. With my hands, they all have to run everybody. But this fucking is over. When I'm going alone. Cause I got the love in my soul.
Yeah. Oh, yay! You are that.
Okay, just remember that. I know that life can be hard, but all of you worth it. I know that you can be great. I hope you don't think you're perfect. When you see it, you only need I make a lot of mistakes. The lessons I learned were worth it. I know that I'ma be great. I hope you don't think I'll be perfect. I know that life can be hard, but all of your dreams will be worth it. I know that you will be great. I hope you don't think you'll be perfect. Pride. Just want to be great.
It's gonna be like, it says 29, but sometimes it goes like, That's quick, so 20 seconds.
I know those radio time clocks are
It just came up all of a
hilarious. Yeah,
sudden.
yeah, they're hilarious.
Five, four, three, two.
Oh, yeah. That was Eating Water, and then followed up by Bloom by Mike Fate. And now we have the lyrics. I have the lyrics in front of me, and we're going to talk about the lyrics. So, like, I didn't realize, like, the mask thing is so, this is a different mask.
Oh my God.
I didn't even, you know what I mean? I have masks in both pockets because it's such a mask, and I've probably worn these pants a bunch, you know, so there's just masks stuck in places like fucking chapstick. You know, it's just like, gotta have one in the car. One hanging on the doorknob.
I didn't even know I had this.
Yeah. And I sewed a whole shitload of them. I was beginning to quarantine, so I just had them. So, but I just realized this one when I talk moves around, so I gotta keep track of it. Okay, so what I want to hear about first is like, Anna, when just how you approach the writing. Like with me, I just start writing something, and then if it finds a rhythm or it seems to have a repeating, you know, rhyme somewhere in there, whatever it is, I find it as I'm expressing the thing. And some people go about like, I'm going to try to write something that has some of these elements, some of these elements. So tell me how you get into it.
Usually I am more like, I'll just listen to something, and if the music speaks to me, then I just start writing, you know, just from that. But for this song particularly, I really had a lot of intention in what I wanted to write. So I really had to think about everything that I really wanted to write and just make sure that, you know, at the end of the song, really it was like, if I don't cry at the end of the song, I haven't got it out.
Mm. So can you read some of it? Is that too emotional?
No, I'll be fine. I don't care. It's fun.
Okay. Because since we're talking about lyrics, I want, and when you hear it in the song, you can of course go back and listen to the song, you can get the music, whatever, but I just like to read lyrics, you know, for poetry if they're done right. So can you read just like the first section?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't bring my writing phone. You just wanted me to read out the first verse?
Yeah.
Okay. I am a flower in bloom. Watch me grow brighter with shroom. Potted plant in your room. I just got tired of the Zoom. Living too fast but don't want to crash. Living too rash can't be part of that. Have to slow all the way down. Smelling these roses that's on my path. It's more than that. I was just thankful to know my dad. I know too many that didn't. I mean, at least he would listen. He turned me into a beast in the kitchen too. I hope you can hear me. I'm missing you. But I got a mission to do. I know I'm gonna see you, just not too soon. So this is for you.
That's so much more powerful than that.
Yeah, looks like it.
Make that song.
Me, I know.
Oh, yeah, no, he gave me goosebumps when I heard it, like when we were in the studio, and that's like a really big thing. A lot of like, I'm not a producer. I don't touch the engineering. I do not do anything technical. I am there for the vibe and the feels and the emotional energy, and I tell you if you hit it or you're off. That's it. And with this, he was so spot on with this album. It was ridiculous. Like I just saw the emotional growth in him being able to express himself. Like, to me, in one of like the first times ever, to be honest. So it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like he was going to create music. It felt like he was leaving a part of himself into this album.
And to see us like firsthand, him really watching it, he literally put his whole entire soul into this whole album. He sat there, he just went through his emotions in a way I've never seen other people do.
Mm-hmm.
And he found a way to put it into words. Like, good job.
Yeah. For real. And so tell me about, it sounds like it's tribute, you know? It's tribute to
For
your
sure.
dad, right?
For sure.
Like, and we're, because sometimes you just tell like, this song is an anthem, or this song is a torch song, you know?
Right.
But this sounds like tribute. Is like the mood, is that accurate?
Yeah, definitely. This is more of it's a tribute and kind of me speaking to myself.
It's a statement.
Yeah, you know, realizing exactly. This is, I guess, this comes off as me just more of my introspective thoughts. You know, this is just kind of how I think.
Yeah. So, what did it already have when you wrote it? Did it already have a beat in your mind, or did that come?
When did the beat come first?
Oh, you guys just touched on that subject.
Wow.
Alright.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
explain.
Mike.
Okay,
So
now
I
I'm all
had-
excited.
original from YouTube, but yeah, they wanted to make all the beats for me in the studio. So he actually went and just kind of not remade the beat, but more kept the same feel and just made me the beat. And he really did that for a couple songs for the album, but he really made all the beats for the album. Some of them were just from scratch, and some of them were from songs that was already working on.
Oh.
Who wrote the piece?
It was a super cool experience to
P.
watch.
Oh, he was a producer. Shout out to you.
Oh yeah.
He's a people that night. Definitely. He was in there from like
12.
2 a.m. to like 8, 10 a.m. every
Lock
day.
in 8 hour, 6 or 8 hour lock in.
I slept on the couch.
A lot.
A lot.
Everyone did with me. I was in the
Yeah, he was the other one.
Did it smell good in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It smelled like weed and snacks.
Yeah.
You know what? You never know about studios. Do you know what I mean?
So yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're
You
100%
have
right.
rockers that you're working
You're
with.
100%
You can
right.
walk into some studios and it's like sticky,
Yeah.
just everything's damp for some
Yeah,
reason.
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm a very clean artist. I can myself. Everybody know me. I don't have to get my message no more. I don't have the floor. I need to be clean before it's all feel comfortable.
We're
Yeah.
very clean people.
Yeah.
They have very nice couches too. Plush, lavish couches.
That's the next album. Lavish couches.
Yes.
Man,
Lavish
you know,
couches. The audio
It's
book.
not wrong.
Lavish couches.
The couches back.
Oh wait, that's 3525. That's not your house. Oh.
No,
Oh, we have nice couches too. Yes, but
Yeah, no, we did.
So the way I actually ended up working here was I did a show. My cousin had told me about it. DJ was gonna be there. I was like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. And I knew the host from Eastern Michigan. She used to do hosting up there. I used to be up there. I met her up there, so I was like, I want to do a show. And I went up there, performed like 2 songs. And actually, I performed 1 song because I wasn't taking it that serious. And I was like, I'm just gonna perform 1 song. I got a great song. Everyone loves the song. So I performed it, and they loved it. It's fine. And I talked to the DJ before I left him. Thanks for letting me come here and everything. He was like, cool, just tap in with me. We know get to work. So I was like, all right, thanks. So and I left, went home, and I did it again, just tapping in with you. One thing you get for the opportunity. He's like, I'm gonna have you meet up with my main engineer at my studio. He's gonna have something for you. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool, thank you. I think it's like a shirt.
Yeah.
I fucking lanyard. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll wear a fucking lanyard.
we were very excited about this t-shirt.
Very
It's
excited
a
about this
master
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
So
He called me for the meeting. Goes, I have no idea what we're going.
No idea.
No clue.
He might give
Just
me
come
a cup.
open-minded. I'm
Cup that
like,
says
all right.
DJ on it. I will
Yeah.
drink water from it. I'm not sure. So we go up there and meet with them. And they're like, yeah, show me some songs and everything. I'm like, all right, sure. So I showed them some music. And they're like, basically they end up agreeing to have me record the entire album. So they want to just share the rights with it, which is definitely convertible to trying to find producers and having to pay them for we can all just get money on the back end.
Yeah.
But then he was just like, I see how serious you are, I see how much you care, and I genuinely like the music. And so shout out to them for that, for giving me an opportunity to record in that studio.
Originally, we were supposed to be working with a pretty substantial budget, But you ended up moving around. It was just after the tour, and everything was kind of just like compounding. So I ended up having to call Ben, and I was like, "Yo, let's see how we can make this work. Let's come in for a meeting, and let's kind of see what the long-term game would look like." And from there, it just turned into a great business partnership. Like I do some of their publications and help them do articles and push.
3525.
Yeah, 3525 Studios. So that it's actually in Southfield, off of 8 Mile and like Telegraph area, Rosser area. The studio's owned by DJ BJ 3525, who was like the longest staying DJ on 1075 on Hot 175 downtown. So
DJ BJ.
yeah, huge platform.
Like,
Yep, DJ BJ. And it's funny, so it's Mr. 3525, and if you break down on the America 3525 is DJ BJ.
Oh,
A lot of people don't understand that.
so he just went from like silly to like really numerology and lightness all of a sudden.
He does everything with a purpose. He owns multiple companies all under 3525. So
Wow.
yeah, but so the recording studio was just one of their newest ventures from the last year. So we got fortunate enough to work with them about 6 months in and got to see their full year anniversary and everything. So we're really close with them. We do a lot of work with them. We're actually talking to them right now about getting them back in there. So it's a good, great studio. And I've worked at almost every studio in the state.
Yeah.
So I know Grove up there. I know.
Do you know Taylor Green shows?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We've done some of those shows.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
We've done these shows in the basement.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Do you know Jim Roll?
Jim Roll. That name sounds so familiar.
Yeah.
Backseat something.
It wasn't my favorite name. I've known him too long. I feel like an asshole.
There's so many people in the broadcasting
I
community.
know,
It's crazy. they're
Willis
and we have
Willis Sound.
yes.
That's his school.
Yeah. And the Assembly. They have a church just like it too. And they do worship engineering recording out there. Yeah.
So tell me, was this exhausting or was it like purging to write this album, particularly this song? You know how sometimes you write things and you're like, oh, that makes me feel lighter, and sometimes it's you have to like lay down and rest. You know, like.
That's a great question. That's actually a very good question. Because the writing was more purging, I'll say, but the recording process, I was doing my first tour recording, so that was really rough on me, honestly.
It's rough on your
so
voice.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
I was making him tea like every day.
Tired, just annoyed.
And not to mention getting in the studio at 2 a.m., knowing that you're doing a lock-in and not leaving until 10 is kind of.
That sounds like torture.
It does. It really does. I enjoy it. But it's like that's like our, you know what I'm saying? That's our 8 hours. That's our 9 to 5.
Yeah, I thought you were saying you were doing it like a show.
Oh no.
You know, a 9 to 1 show, and then going into the studio. Oh, okay.
I did travel to North Carolina, Chicago, and back to Detroit. Or actually, no, my first show was in Flint. Then we had to go to North Carolina. Then Chicago. Then back to Detroit. Then
Colorado.
Yeah, then Colorado.
Then Trap Art, Detroit.
Then I came back into the show. So,
yeah, it's still a lot. Yeah.
And I drove half of that night, Alexandra drove the other half. So we were really doing it all the great way. Just talking about this makes me even mad.
Honestly, I didn't even remember.
Yeah. Did you like Hamilton?
I haven't seen it yet because honestly, I want my first experience to be in person. Yeah.
In a safe environment with someone who cares about me.
Not even that. I don't even care. Just everyone shut up. Let me watch Hamilton.
So he was interviewed. Lin-Manuel Miranda was interviewed last week on Fresh Air or something about the Disney Plus release of Hamilton, and she's saying, hey, so this was filmed in 2016 in Europe. Now it's this amazing, Hamilton's this amazing lively zone, and what are you thinking when you look back to that much younger man? And he's like, I was exhausted. I was fucking closet. He's like, we had toddlers. We were, doing 8 shows a week and filming this after the other ones on our days off. And my wife was, you know what I mean? He was just like, I look at myself as the tiredest I've ever been in my life. But in the, in the show, he's got so much energy. It's just amazing. You're like, how to put that out every day. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've
a lot.
turned to that.
Yeah.
Entertainers gotta entertain it. It's not like a job. It's more of a lifestyle.
Oh yeah. Well, so I'm super bummed because I was getting ready to go to Beaver Island and went back to Beaver Island. I heard a friend of mine saying it's kind of Cadillac. I'm like, what? Like outside, like a show? I kept checking everything. People were like, yeah, they're doing it in a huge field, social distance. I'm like, okay, I'm there. I'm going back. I'm doing this show. And I just got so excited thinking about, and I texted my friend, the bassist, and I'm like, I want to see you in Cadillac. And he goes, well, I don't know. It's going to be a bunch of asshole yahoos, like, all up in our business, or is it going to be like, you know what I mean? He was not sure the entertainment experience was going to be worth the weirdness that is right now.
Right.
Like, it's a gig, but it has such high potential to be a super weird, politically enraged gig.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, I do want to rock. Don't get me wrong.
I just want to rock. I don't want to.
I do
That's
nothing
another
else.
shit. Yeah. So it's, it's an interesting thing.
When's this scheduled for?
The 18th. The 18th. So I don't know if I'm even going to get to go. The dates change, but it just reminded me like of how much the show must go on.
Well, if you can't make it the 18th, the Michigan Psychedelic Society
That's
is
right.
having a meeting
In the
West
park.
Park
I
in
know.
Ann Arbor, so I know I'll be there.
We'll be in California.
Really?
We will be in California.
Well, is that in July?
In July.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you'll be in California.
That's okay. We always do these meetings.
There's a meeting
Oh my
once a
gosh.
month. Don't worry.
You need to send us the invite.
Yeah, I need to go to that.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, it's such a great group of people. So we'll do a little plug real quick because Psychedelic Society really is, we go to a meeting and this person is a deaf doula and this person teaches neurosurgery at the University of Michigan and this person is like a...
They started a club at the University of Michigan. This person practices ayahuasca.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's, and so it's these really super open conversations.
Earthlink along.
Yeah.
That's psychedelic.
Oh,
Yeah.
More.
that's hilarious.
Yes, it's really good, super cool people. So I've met great people.
I was very anti-psychedelic before I met Mike.
Oh.
My music is very
Talk about the first, in the first line, it talks about shrooms.
Oh, so yeah, my music is very psychedelic.
Yeah.
I was like, that caught me immediately. So.
I'm in. And then, to Light. Light.
Yes.
That one, I can see myself
Tripping.
tripping my balls off.
I have, and it is from here.
Sure.
Not
That song, got him.
So,
Honestly,
I didn't even like that song as much until I tripped.
No, you tripped. When you tripped, yeah. That's exactly how
Wait,
that
but-
was for me. Ain't got to meditate.
I can't get it, because it's just like, what is tell me how it goes.
No, you got it right.
that
That's really, that's
Oh, okay.
well, it's like one of the short, it's like the shortest song on my album. I have to sing for just making sure we
Oh, yeah.
do like this little snap. The song's
Yeah.
over.
Bam.
The song's over.
Yeah, like we really
Like,
hate that.
No,
Like,
there's song snacks.
If you've been peeking, peek's over. I
you
hope you
feel
like
you're
it.
peaking. There you go. You got a minute and a half. Look.
Songlets. Songlet snacks.
And, I mean, I want to make longer music. It's just I'm so picky about it.
You should do a whole album of nothing over a minute 30 seconds called Song Snacks.
Song snacks.
See, I was
love
working with a producer out of California who actually did something like this, like a minute of your time. And he was the first producer to commission me for a verse. So he paid for 2 verses for me. And most of the songs like really good for like a minute long, minute and a half. Like you it's over.
Is that the guy I really like?
Okay, so
If you don't put rap music, there's like, you get really close to it all in and make it really loud. Maybe 100 minutes.
this is about that song. That's how they go.
That's
No, that's not rock.
Shelly the punk rockers.
Shelley Belly and her punk rock band.
I would pay to see. I would go.
What would we wear?
That's the fun of it.
I think we should wear those like Chinese, like the sumo wrestler suits or something.
Those things getting hot. You want
You know,
to get
5
5
minute
minutes
set.
set. We come out there, we perform 8 songs in 5 minutes.
All for you guys. Like,
Sure. Some sort of costume, for
Sounds good.
sure. Maybe we mix it up. Maybe it's like a superhero theme sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
I love characters.
Oh,
it's like that one
I used to be in a,
YMCA.
yeah, the village people.
Village.
They're an example of people from your village. We kind of want to be like the people from the village. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. So the other thing I was going to ask you about was, I totally forgot. Oh, the light. The light. So the short song challenge would be this. If you just want to create a pair to go on for no reason, just for improv fun,
Okay.
I like doing these things. So it would be an album called Song Snacks. They're only a minute and a half, and they're all about things that you think of as tasty. That's the challenge.
You can write a song. You can write a song. You can write
Okay,
a
let's
song.
all do it.
Okay.
We'll all do it.
Well,
We'll
this
do
is
a song snack challenge.
Can we wait until his hand is healed so he can actually cook?
Yeah.
And then we
Oh
can
my
make songs
God.
about the shit that we're cooking.
Music videos.
Oh, shit. Oh my God, my head's gonna explode. Okay. Song snack challenge release party. We all write songs about good shit that we cook. And then when we do the song release party, we cook all of this shit.
It'll be a giant potluck. It's like a poetry potluck night.
Oh my God.
It is.
You better come here to poetry about ham hock.
Mine's gonna be about
That's hard.
grains.
That's hard to find. Ham hocks.
Well, don't bring ham hocks.
There we go.
Don't bring
You
him
better
up.
bring some
You
shit
could
if
do
that's
it.
all you want.
If you could rhyme things with ham hocks though, then people would love that shit. If you could figure out a really sweet way to like rhyme ham hocks with something that didn't make you feel like an asshole. Because that could be cheesy. But that's another, I'm giving you all kinds of
There's a
assignments.
bunch
I'm
of
proud of
them.
that. I'm proud of that. Just to kind of prove to myself. I mean, I don't feel like I can.
Lamb chops? Lamb chops?
We're talking about ham
Yeah,
hocks.
well,
No, it's about how you use it in the flow more than
I
anything
know.
actually matters.
Yes.
So I can do this, I can rhyme anything.
He's pretty confident, people.
Oh, I know.
Oh, she's seen me, I'm telling you.
I challenge him.
Awkward.
And I'll just tell him, I'll give him
See,
words.
there
Just like
you
throw
go.
out random words. He's gonna make cool little sounds about that.
Yeah, I hear it. I love it. I love
We
it.
got you. See, I sing now, but I was a rapper back in my past. Like, I've been rapping since 2012. So I was a rapper for maybe 5 to 6 years. No, like that. I'm really more of just now becoming a singer.
Yeah.
Where did you like perform? When you first started out?
Actually, my first show was the Dance G. We had sent it out into a competition in Atlanta, and it ended up being first place.
I remember him telling me.
It's fucking crazy. So I actually was on YouTube and I saw the video. I had a little mic video or something back to some old shit, unreleased shit. Like, I found a video on YouTube of me and my old group actually performing in Atlanta.
It was cute. They were all so young.
You're like the newest adorable boy band in Big League in mine.
I still am.
Singing about ass. Just up there smiling, singing about ass cheeks and everything.
I was rapping about that.
Apologies.
Much more acceptable.
Apologies.
In Atlanta, everything was okay.
Like it would be weird to like do a ballad about Ashley.
You know, I can if that's what you want.
Or like a children's kind of.
Song.
Maybe I can't do that one, but I can definitely serenade something better as you.
Don't give him any ideas. I have to go home with him.
Yeah, you have to be singing there.
You want me to stick it into my ass?
She knows it's coming. She knows it's coming.
A, I think she knows what she's in for. B, record it.
I have multiple. I actually have a
Even if it's
video.
annoying.
I have a
record
video
it.
of him with his head inside of my pants.
I be having a field day.
But I'm just asking you.
Sometimes I just put on her pants while she's in the pants.
It's messing with your girlfriend with a contest. Right with us. Right
And they both smoke weed, so it's clearly an athlete's drug.
Man, rapper weed.
And in the gold for fucking with your girlfriend.
Like,
She's gonna walk
Give
up
it
there
up.
and I'm gonna be like, I handcuffed her to
And then I'm like, if you stick him up here, now I'm dragged. Have no choice.
Oh Lord, I love it. So this lyric, one from one song. I don't know when you wrote this, and then we'll go back to the fiction with that song. So in Pay the Amount, when did you write Pay the Amount? Why?
I remember that song, and I remember exactly why he wrote it.
Man, I know exactly why I wrote that. That's why
Oh,
it's so
okay.
funny.
Because there's a line there that says sick from the virus, or sick of the virus, or something like that. And I listened to it
Oh,
today.
that's not that bad. I thought you were gonna talk about something else. I did. Definitely said some shit in that song that was just like, oh wow. No. I just felt like it's a good way to do it. Don't pull back. No, I don't.
Nobody wants that. It's so boring. The sick of the virus book. When did you write that? The kid.
That was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
For what I was talking about in that specific one. I think I may have been saying like sick like the virus. I don't want to go away while I said like
Yeah.
really, really easy one.
Okay. So go back to and pick something in there. I don't know if you can. When I read something that I've written later, sometimes I'll come across something that is like, oh, I really had to mess with this to get it the beat of it right, or I really could never figure out if I landed on the right word at the right time. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you go back and you're like, gosh, I don't know if I like how this turned out. I love this was so much better that I left out that one. So is there anything in there you can think about that's like that? And do why?
You know, actually, I will say yes. Because like the first half of my second verse, I really kind of addressed all my close people who, weren't really supporting me when I really needed it, and just kind of like fans and friends and peers always talking like verse was started like lately. I noticed they doubt all of my peers with me out. They tell me they love my music. I think they just love me about, but nobody leaving the house. Not one friend or better in the crowd. Where's my friend that's a fan of my sound? Where's my man? There's nobody around. And after I wrote it, I kind of felt like, won't they listen to this and be mad or hurt or anything? And I just kind of had some return to like, I shouldn't censor how I feel for other people because this is how I feel. Like,
It's a shit that's where.
like my feelings are valid. So, if I feel it, if I say this, and you do feel affected by it, I feel agree with that. I'm obviously not just bullshit. I'm just saying from my perspective what it is. It's not an objective perspective. I guess I decided for that one instead of taking it out. I just decided to kind of focus on that it doesn't really matter. You're gonna be alone really anyway. So as long as you're okay with who you are, you should be okay. And sometimes you may need help, and that's okay. And I think that's just I wanted to make sure that it had a positive meaning to the song. I don't feel like I was good to do the right thing.
Did anybody Didn't your friends talk to you about it?
Yeah, my roommates called me on. I
Oh,
was just like,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, though. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to tell me I'm wrong, give me some examples of how I'm wrong. If I'm not, then you kind of just gotta accept the song for how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
How it is.
Yeah, yeah. So, I was just thinking how, I mean, comedy is like this too. Music is different because people listen to a song over and over and over and over again. People usually don't listen to the same comedy bit over and over and over as much of the time.
Right.
But like, I think about things sometimes that are out there in a video or something that I did that really felt right like 6 or 7 years ago, and now it totally makes me cringe. Just like, oh God, that's just out there. I was so young and stupid, it's so coming from the wrong place. But is there anything that you've written that's out there that's
Nasty.
We've been talking about it already for like 20 minutes. I think 2012, that was my first one. I don't even know how it made it. It keeps catching me.
She must have last time it was Monday or something.
Man, that's hilarious.
She did research that though.
No, I
No duct, and I said, what the fuck?
was
Was this a trap?
I was not expecting that to be such a big deal, actually. I was just like, this is the first song I found.
It's just funny because people, it just doesn't. It
It
doesn't
won't
come
die.
up unless it won't die. Like I have like 8 projects, and people just be like, "Oh yeah, but remember Milk Dust and Nasty?" So I'm just like, I mean, yeah, but I know what to do to work with Kendrick and Currency. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to
Yeah, I have a joke that basically me going on and on about the phrase hell in a handbasket, and I like act out going to hell in a handbasket and I scream and I burn and whole fucking things. And I've been doing this for so long. And I have a million other jokes as well, right? But also, when I see people, they'll be like, hell in a handbasket. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like that's my identity. And I'm like, all right, that is me. And they're like, remember her? We saw her and she had a hell in a handbasket. Years ago.
I mean, I'm gonna
like,
still
yeah,
greet
yeah.
you, but then you get 2
You're like,
types of
"Wow,
greetings from me. Like you come to me and you're just like, hey, my fate. Oh, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, Milk Dust and Ass Cheeks. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if someone would ask my autograph, like, no. No. I'm not signing shit for
You're
you.
so mean.
What if it's me and it's like I'm dancing it out?
I'm not only not going to sign the same.
He's gonna walk away
I'm gonna
fast.
record you.
And then
Look at this.
I can see murder back here.
God.
He's acting like his name really is C-Murder. I gotta get away from this guy.
This is all
All right, I have a creative challenge for you now, Colin.
Okay, what's that?
So I want you to write kind of a rap that's like you approaching Mike and you're trying to dance for him and he won't have you.
Okay.
And he keeps walking away and you're sort of like,
Can we do like a rap metal kind
I was
of
gonna
thing?
say my response would be call me. Please.
and I want you to both be wearing something fancy,
Okay.
however you want to interpret
We
that.
can do this.
Very
We
fun.
we can do this. This is not
I
hard.
could come on your team and be a random idea. Like if anybody ever has a dry spell, I'm just in a room going like, popsicle, something about popsicle.
Just
Yes.
use the pop.
Yes, I am down for the popsicle.
Something about like the patches, popsicle, sort of like a pop-up children's party.
I love it.
As long as it links back to cannabis.
Yeah, it always does. I
Blow
take it
some
away.
smoke on
It's
it.
gonna be an ad for some very faint flavored weed that tastes very faintly like popsicles. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or weed just in popsicle wrapper.
Well, that would be a fun thing too. We gotta check because we have to leave earlier because we gotta come back and stuff. But we're so good.
12 minutes.
So I was gonna say it would be good to go through like some aspect of cannabis. Like you were obviously involved in cannabis law. Were you a clerk? Were you a lawyer?
I was a legal attorney.
Okay.
I did a lot of the hands-on work to make sure that the files were done, that all of our stuff was done so that everybody can go to court on that.
Okay. So I worked at Tracy Health Collective probably first, and then I did the show at Almost Medicine last 9 years, and then I was membership director of the Michigan Cannabis Industry Association.
Okay, great.
And then I did some coaching for the City Gathering like that, and then I just started working on farm, and I do the show. That's my.
Well, they helped me with MaryDocumentary.com. That's my other business. So Canna Film. That's the documentary that's in Forbes and High Times and all that.
Oh, do you know
Magazine, all that
Jim?
stuff.
Do you know Jim Solomon? Celine?
Celine, yeah.
You know Jim? Oh, okay, great. All right. That makes
It's a
sense.
small world.
It is. It's a small
Especially
world.
Canada.
What about you, Kayla? Are you involved in cannabis or just through May?
It's mostly through him. My website, The Pathless Travel, is more of a spiritual website. I talk about cannabis because I use it in like my meditation and my daily routine.
The
But
path less traveled?
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a hyphen in between less and traveled on the website though. Someone sells it probably.
So before we leave, I want to get all the hashtags of all the people that you guys talked about for all the people that you referenced.
Oh,
The studio and everything.
Sure.
Yeah. And then Colin,
So,
So,
I do it all.
that's all. Yeah, so give us your little rundown, and we'll come back around.
Oh, for 11 contact.
Yeah, just your involvement.
I collected signatures when she legalized in 2015 and kind of kicked it all off. And when she legalized in the second time around, also worked in the city for a while. I've been recording podcasts for like a while now too.
Yeah,
So, I don't know.
right on, okay. What about you?
you fit right in.
Well, I used to smoke at first, and then at one time I tried to make weed music, but I was like, I'm just a smoking artist. And then,
Oh, interesting. Like,
Oh, there are weed musicians.
yeah, there are weed musicians, and there's people like me who just happen to smoke and make music. I'm more of a like psychedelic kind of music.
yes. Oh, interesting. I would love to. We gotta have a whole nother show now.
I'll follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got you.
Yeah.
We need to do I actually went to, Sappho.
Mhm.
Yeah, I went to Sappho Fest to perform one time, and he was really cool with me. I just had a much better show when with Sappho at Sappho Fest, and I had it really a long time. Or really, I usually I get more love out of sometimes than I get out here.
Mhm.
So I really like to go out there and they're good. And then I started we actually had a meeting with Sappho, got to talk to him, and after that I just started taking the industry more seriously, become really kind of serious. So I started to taste more things, try more things out. I started working with a certain company, and yeah. So
Yeah.
And Sappho, mentioned this beautiful city, so.
Yes, the Exit City.
Oh, yeah, okay, totally. Yes, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, good
so
sessions.
These are my favorite things to do. Smoke weed, talk about books, read, talk about music, meet new people. And
like
advocate
that.
for weed. It's good community,
So we
community in every way, every way, helping each other and furthering the cause and
Is there-
sharing.
I was gonna ask, so all the audio or like the shows that you have done, is there a way for you to put them onto a website and like so that we can they are already on the Reads and Bees website?
Yeah.
Oh, they're awesome.
Yeah, so the YouTube page is pretty new. I only have like 3 or 4 episodes on there. It's just me on Zoom, just it's just through whatever. But on our website, it's all audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
there's maybe 48 episodes up, maybe.
I like that.
So yeah.
We're gonna dive in.
Yeah.
They're on like Apple and Spotify.
They're on everything.
Oh, okay, they're streaming. Okay, cool. Awesome.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna link those. I'm gonna try and
Yes,
get
yes.
those on the website.
Yeah.
You
And I'd
guys
love to.
definitely get profiles on MaryDocumentary.com.
Yes.
All create all kinds of content.
A lot more.
Yeah, talk as much as you want about cannabis on the website.
Yeah.
No, I want
We
you.
did. Have you guys read Smoke Signals?
Not yet.
I've heard about that.
Everyone's telling me that's like
We
the
did
number
a,
one.
we did a show about
I
smoke
think you
signals.
mentioned it on Medical Monday.
You did.
Yeah, we did the, if you haven't read the book Smoke Signals, read it, and it's like a very comprehensive spiritual, political, financial history of cannabis in America and all the fucked up ways that it's been dealt with and
That's what
prohibited.
you recommended it for us.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
if you haven't read this book, you gotta read it.
Yeah, so it's one of those, even if you think you know a lot, you'll learn
Yeah,
a
you'll
lot
learn
from
a lot.
that. Yeah. So, I think we should wrap up. What I want to hear, I guess, the very last thing would be about either this song or the album in general, or lyrics, comments, finishing comments from any of you guys about the album.
Stream the album if you want to have an experience. Like, and I mean, it's an experience because you get to learn about Mike Fate, but a lot of the things that he has gone through and the things that are in this album emotionally, it just puts you in a different place.
Yeah.
Each track makes you feel a different emotion. And to me, that is beautiful.
I love this album. It's one of my favorite albums. Mike was just saying a lot. I love all his albums, but I strongly recommend people trip to the album because
For sure.
it's one of those albums, man. It could actually change your life. So
Yeah, I think we should introduce this to we should tag the Psychedelic Society.
Please do.
You know,
Yeah.
I just want to say that I released the album like it's like the Monday, then Cold Week Friday, and put everything indoors, and that kind of just put a big old foot on the plan. So, I mean, if you're indoors and you got something, you ain't got nothing to do, even if you got something to do, put that on or throw it on a speaker,
Yeah.
and even if you don't listen all the way through, just, give it a chance, let me know how you feel about it. Yes, no, listen all.
Yeah, I can personally say it's good to cook to, lay in a hammock to, garden to. Working in a, like, I've been working on a little organic farm and, smoke a little bit before I start working and then just put Spotify on and listen to it. It's so fun to like prune too. Really love it.
I can see that. He's a very for an air sign. He's very earthly.
Yeah.
Yeah, such an earthy.
Well, plus
song.
it's the rhythm. There's a rhythm.
Very nice upbeat.
Yeah, it's very easy. There's nothing I can focus.
Oh, yeah.
It's still
Oh, yeah.
groovy.
I want to hear some more just music now.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Hey, so we'll wrap up, and can you pull up what was the other songs we've listened to? Lean Water.
Cyrus and Natural.
Yep, Cyrus and Natural.
What do you want to end with?
Cyrus.
Cyrus. So I love that. So, oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for coming. This
Thank
is
you
our
for
first show
having us.
back.
Yes,
and
we're
I'm so happy
glad to
to
be
see
a part.
people.
Awesome. Thank
And I
you.
love you guys. You're all my new best friends now.
Yay! That's all we wanted.
You can have us on here anytime.
Oh yeah, we're
We'll have
doing
more
it.
guests for you.
Everybody else is afraid of me.
We don't mind you.
No. I respect it, but like anybody that's willing right now.
If you want to be my friend, I'll be your friend.
Okay, I should be scared.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, just leave. I'm Shelly, and we're gonna go out with Cyrus from my face.
And then Natural. That was fun. Good
That
job.
was so much fun.
Okay, my mask is like killing my ears.
I know.
That's really my biggest
It's my
problem.
Yeah,
ears.
it's the back of
It's
my
the back of my ears.
Mine are made of foam. So this is lit.
No.
No,
These are-
it's just
It's
with
a
the
heavy-
headphones on top of it.
This one is the new one, and it's the best fucking face mask I've worn so far.
Really?
This
Okay,
song
I swear to
is
God.
stuck in my head. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the song.
This
I
song
wake up and
stuck in my
I wake
head.
up and I'm like,
I try to make like hypnotizing music, stuff that
Oh.
really gets stuck in your head.
It's working. You're succeeding.
yeah, fun, reads and leads, like.
There's also the trees and weeds that have become too blind.
You right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like,